let's now talk about the ending of Spider-Man Brand New Day. And once again, spoilers, in case you haven't watched the movie. But before we get into like the actual ending, let's talk about like the final battle real quick. Did anyone watching this movie think that like, oh, this is kind of like the Thunderbolts ending, like Peter, you defeated Jean Grey with the power of friendship, kind of like how the Thunderbolts beat the Void with the power of friendship. It wasn't a fight in the third act. It was a mental battle. Where Aunt May, like I said in my review, like Aunt May, I think that's a great way to use a deceased character to further the plot. It was a really touching scene because Aunt May has parented someone that is going through exactly what she's going through, and that wasn't said by someone that is trying to relate to her. Like, she does relate to her because she's parented someone like that. So that's why it got through to Jean Grey. But yeah, I thought it was kind of very similar to the Thunderbolts, the ending. But let's get into the actual ending. While you're clicking on this video, you may be confused on the ending while watching it, where Ned Leeds and Peter Parker revived their old handshake from the original trilogy. So, and then obviously after that he says, Peter. Now, I've seen a lot of people saying, how in the world does Ned remember Peter Parker? If, MJ and Peter literally loved each other, how in the world did that not come back to her? But there's nothing like the power of two bros and that friendship. There's nothing like the power of a bromance. That breaks through any spell. But no, that's not what happened. Like I said with the post-credit scene video, I think people are getting this one wrong. I really think it's as simple as he put two and two together, because whenever Spider-Man left MJ and Ned's apartment, she said, Peter. And then he's like, Peter. So he put two and two together. He's like, okay, that guy is Spider-Man, and his name's also Peter. It's not that he remembered who Peter Parker was, because that's impossible. He's not. I just think he knows he was close with Spider-Man, and he knew that handshake. He just didn't know who he did it with. So he just put two and two together. And it's not something where it's like, oh, like he's gonna have all the memories back, because of the handshake. No, I think it's really as simple as that. Maybe I'm the one overthinking, but I'm pretty certain the ending was just Ned put two and two together, that Peter and Spider-Man, aka Peter, is the same guy who's Maynard. Okay, he's Maynard. He was the guy that brought the housewarming gift to them. I think that's all it was. I don't think Ned got all his memories back about the good old days, the trip to Europe and getting narked by Nick Fury. That's not what's happening here. But yeah, that's that part of the ending. I know a lot of people are discussing about. And I think another thing we should talk about in regards to the ending was like, what's next for some of these characters? What is next for Bruce Banner? Because career over, buddy. See you in the reboot. See you in 2029 when we get the Hulk movie. Like, we're never gonna see Mark Ruffalo's Hulk again. Like, we're probably gonna see like the world beater Hulk, and maybe Secret. I like what? I feel so bad. Like, what, are we gonna get Edward Norton Hulk in Secret Wars? Like, Bruce Banner is gonna rot in a psych ward for the rest of his life after he worked so hard to rebuild his life. Was able to inhibit the Hulk, and taught students. He was a great teacher, teaching science, doing what he loves. That's all down the drain, just because Spider-Man stopped Scorpion from getting VMAX. That led to Jean resorting to the Hulk, so it's all Peter's fault. But yeah, we don't know what's next for Bruce. I say pack it up. See you in the reboot, buddy. For Bruce Banner. As for Jean Grey, look, maybe she's going to the X-Mansion at this point, because going into this movie, I thought there was no damn way we get Jean Grey in the 616 when we don't even have an Oscorp. How in the world are we going to get one of the key X-Men characters existing in this universe? It doesn't make sense. We don't even have the Fantastic Four, So, I don't know what's next for her. Maybe she's going to some safe house for enhanced individuals. How is there a Professor X in this universe? His influence would have been tremendous. We would have heard about you know, this safe haven. You know, I don't know. I don't know what's next for her. She's probably not going to exist on the 616 universe. 616 is going to be, you know, it's completely redone after Secret Wars, you know. It's going to be a universe where the X-Men, Fantastic Four, the Avengers all exist in the same universe, you know. That's what's going to happen after Secret Wars. So I think we'll see what's next for Sadie Sing's Jean Grey after Secret Wars. Maybe she's in Secret Wars. Who knows? I don't know at this point. But and as for Spider-Man, what is next for him? Well, if you watch my post-credit scene video, if you haven't, make sure to go check that out. But I explain what I think the post-credit scene means, and I think what it means is that we're not going to see Spider-Man in Avengers Doomsday. We're going to see Tom Holland Spider-Man in Avengers Secret Wars. And here's why. Because obviously it starts with the Spidey tracking app. It says, first thing it says is Spider-Man cannot be found, meaning he's not going to be in Doomsday. Okay, it's him being transferred to Battleworld. That post-credit scene, in my opinion, takes place in the future. Because it starts off saying Spidey not found, and then boom, glitches out for a little bit, goes out, totally new area. It's not a new Earth because we saw an Earth icon in the the app, but there wasn't one whenever it said new Spider-Man found. It's because it's in the void. You can't go to the void by traveling universes or going through space. Like it's its own like dimension kind of thing. Time, it's a place where time doesn't happen, you know? Like it's not going to pop up as a planet. It's not going to pop up on a map. So that's why it's the void, aka Battleworld. So we're going to see Tom Holland Spider-Man in Secret Wars. I don't think he's going to be in Avengers Doomsday. I think that's what the point of that post-credit scene was, by saying Spider-Man not found, because he's not going to be in Doomsday. They also didn't say when Spider-Man will return. It just says Spider-Man will return, I think, meaning Secret Wars. I think that was just them, kind of saying he's not going to be in Doomsday. And I don't think it's going to be Miles Morales Spider-Man showing up. I know people are saying that because of the glitching thing that happened, but I literally think it's because, it's a cheap app that's losing service because we're going further and further out of space. And that's why it glitched. I think it's as simple as that. I think people are maybe overthinking it a bit. Will we see a Spider-Man in Doomsday? Very likely. We'll probably see the return of Andrew and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I think that's very likely. I just don't think we'll get Tom Holland Spider-Man because I think the plot's going to move insanely fast to the point where they don't even think to contact Spider-Man regarding the space crisis. But that's my take on the ending. I think Ned just put two and two together that Peter is Spider-Man. And not that he remembered who Peter Parker was. Because no one does, not even MJ. So that's my take on the ending. And yeah,